Welcome to the Deep Dive. If you're running a hotel or a restaurant, you know it's about more than just the food or the room. It's really about the experience.
Absolutely. And today we're zooming in on a huge part of that, your restaurant service.
Yeah, because you can pour everything into the menu, the decor.
hmm
But what often makes or breaks it?
Well, our guide for this deep dive, Maurice, he's a real pro in hospitality, especially food and beverage. He argues pretty strongly that while great food is vital, it's your staff who turn a meal into something memorable.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Ugh.
About your own favorite places. What brings you back besides the dish itself?
And Maurice has some compelling numbers on this. He cites a European Restaurant Association study. Get this. 78% of customers judge a restaurant based on the service first, before the food even hits the table.
Wow, 78%. That's massive for owners to think about.
It really is.
Yeah.
So our mission today, drawing on Maurice's insights, is to sort of get under the skin of what makes service truly impeccable.
We're looking for those secrets, yeah. The things that build loyalty and, let's be honest, boost the business. All through Maurice's lens.
Exactly. So where do we start?
Okay, let's dive right in with something Maurice calls le comportement. Basically, staff behavior.
Right. His point is your team is the face of the restaurant. Every single interaction counts, from hello to goodbye.
And what's really striking is how fast those judgments happen. Maurice mentions data showing 85% of customers decide if they'll return within the first 3 minutes.
3 minutes before they've even tasted anything.
I know. That initial greeting, how they're seated, that first chat with the server, it's incredibly high stakes.
So how do you foster that positive behavior? Maurice has some solid advice. First up, hiring. He says hire with heart and head.
Meaning not just skills, but personality.
Precisely. Look for people who are naturally warm, naturally friendly. Maurice suggests you can train service mechanics, but that genuine welcoming attitude, that's much harder to teach.
That makes sense. It's innate sometimes.
And that leads straight into his next point. Training. Consistent, ongoing training is non-negotiable.
He even points to McDonald's, right? With their, 32 hours a year per employee?
Yeah, as a benchmark. And the European data he mentions is interesting, too. Places that train staff will see about 40% less turnover.
40%. That's a huge saving in itself, besides the better service.
Definitely. And it's not just about how to serve, but fostering pride. He talks about Noma in Copenhagen.
Ah, yes, where the servers know the whole story of the ingredients.
Exactly. That passion, that knowledge, it transforms the guest's experience. It's about empowering the team to connect with what they're serving.
And there's a real-world example, too. Sophie in Paris.
Right. Maurice shares her story. She invested just 2,000 euros in team training monthly sessions on service skills. The result? A 35% jump in repeat customers within 6 months.
That's a fantastic return on investment. Wow.
It really shows it works. But then there's the flip side.
Ah, the habitudes qui tuent votre réputation. The reputation killers.
Yes. These are the little things, often unconscious behaviors that can really damage how customers see you.
And they can creep in so easily if you're not watching.
Totally. Maurice lists his top 10 habits to ban immediately. Some are quite revealing, like eating at your workstation.
Seems minor, maybe, but it looks unprofessional.
It does. Maurice actually knew a place that lost about 15% of its customers, partly because staff were seen eating in service areas.
Ouch. Okay, what else is on that list?
No head coverings in the kitchen. That's basic hygiene, really. Chewing gum on duty? Just looks disrespectful, doesn't it?
Definitely. And speaking a foreign language.
Yeah, amongst staff, in front of customers, it can make guests feel excluded or talked about. Maurice notes an exception, though, like an Italian place outside Italy where hearing Italian can actually add to the vibe.
Context matters. Yeah.
For sure. And the last one he highlights initially is pointing with a finger.
Oh, right. Use an open hand instead. More welcoming.
Exactly. These seem small, but Maurice insists customers pick up on them, consciously or not.
Okay, so behavior is key. Then Maurice moves on to l'apparence. Appearance.
He calls it the restaurant's silent business card. It's that immediate visual impression.
And this links back to that quick judgment thing, right?
Absolutely. He cites a stat. Within 7 seconds, a customer forms an opinion. And staff appearance accounts for 60% of that initial impression.
60%. Just based on how the team looks.
It's huge. So his golden rules: first, invest in real professional uniforms, not just logo t-shirts.
He mentions a budget, right? Like €150 per employee in Europe.
Yeah, he argues it's a worthwhile investment for the image it projects. Professionalism, brand consistency.
Makes sense. What else?
Cleanliness is paramount.
Mm,
Clean shoes, neat hair, tidy nails, it all signals care and hygiene
the
standards.
details matter.
They really do. And third, avoid excessive accessories. Subtle jewelry is okay, but nothing too distracting or unprofessional.
And there's proof this works too. A restaurant chain example.
Yeah, Maurice mentions a chain that revamped its uniforms in 2019. They saw a 22% rise in customer satisfaction, and analysis showed the improved appearance was a key driver.
Wow. Okay. Appearance is covered. What about attitude? This feels like a big one.
Oh, it is. Maurice calls it les atrocités de attitude. Bad attitude. He warns it can destroy years of hard work building a reputation.
And bad news travels fast these days, doesn't it?
Faster than ever. Maurice notes a dissatisfied customer tells maybe 10 people offline, but online, social media, review sites, it could be hundreds, thousands.
Scary potential impact. So what are the toxic behaviors to absolutely avoid?
Well, complaining in front of customers is a definite no-no. Whatever is going on backstage needs to stay backstage.
Right. Keep it professional.
Always. Also, losing patience with difficult customers. It happens, people get tricky, but Maurice stresses. Breathe, smile, stay professional, don't get drawn in.
Easier said than done sometimes, but crucial.
Absolutely. And maybe the biggest one, ignoring complaints.
Because most unhappy people don't actually complain.
Exactly. Maurice cites that sobering stat, 95% don't complain, they just leave and don't come back. You lose the customer and the chance to fix the problem.
So you have to make it easy and safe for them to give feedback.
Definitely. And address it properly when they do. He shares a great story about a bistro in Lyon. They got a terrible TripAdvisor review.
Oh dear. What did they do?
Instead of getting defensive, they invested in serious conflict management training for the team. The result, their rating went from 2.1 stars to 4.7 in a year.
That's incredible. Just by tackling attitude and complaints handling.
It shows the power of turning negatives into positives.
Okay, so we've covered the potential pitfalls. What about the good stuff? The extra touches.
Ah, yes, list points bonus. The little things that make a difference, that create a bit of magic. Maurice says in a crowded market, this is where you really stand out.
So what are these bonus points?
Some are surprisingly simple, like making eye contact for just 3 seconds. Maurice says it creates a real connection, and neuroscience even backs that up.
Just 3 seconds.
Then, a genuine smile. Apparently, it uses 17 muscles, and customers can tell if it's real or forced.
Authenticity matters.
Totally. And language choice. He contrasts pas de problème, no problem, with on va voir. We'll see.
Ah, the difference between confident reassurance and vague uncertainty.
Exactly. That no problem can instantly make a guest feel taken care of.
These are great practical tips, and Maurice actually lays out a plan for owners to implement changes, doesn't he?
He does. A clear 4-week plan d'action, very hands-on.
Okay, walk us through it. Week 1.
Week 1 is the audit. Just observe, spend a couple of hours watching your team, note down those problematic habits we talked about, but also spot your star performers who's already doing it right.
Good starting point. Week 2.
Express training, a focused 2-hour team meeting. Lay out the new rules or expectations clearly, and crucially, practice them, role-playing scenarios.
Get people comfortable with the new ways. Makes sense. Week 3.
Follow up. This is about consistency. Quick daily check-ins, maybe 15 minutes. Give immediate praise for good examples you see. Gently correct mistakes when they happen. Keep the momentum going.
Reinforcement is key. And finally, week 4.
Evaluation. Use an anonymous customer survey to get honest feedback on the changes. Analyze those results. And really important, celebrate the progress the team has made. Acknowledge the effort.
That sounds like a really solid, manageable plan.
Yeah, very practical.
So wrapping this up, Maurice's core message seems crystal clear.
It really is. He keeps coming back to it. Your staff are the make or break factor. They're what lifts a restaurant from ordinary to exceptional.
And he finishes with some powerful stats to back that up.
He does. Well-trained staff can boost turnover by 25%. Motivated staff can cut employee turnover by 40%.
Huge numbers.
And professional staff don't just serve customers. They turn them into loyal ambassadors for your brand. It all connects to the bottom line.
So the takeaway for hotel and restaurant owners listening is pretty direct, isn't it?
Absolutely. Invest in your people. Don't see training and creating a positive culture as just costs. See them as crucial investments in your success.
It's about viewing your team as your most valuable asset.
Exactly. Which leads us to that final question for you, the listener, drawing from Maurice's thinking. How will you start elevating your team, maybe even tomorrow, to create those unforgettable guest experiences and really build a thriving business?
It's about realizing that potential, isn't it? Giving them the tools, the support, the culture to really shine.
That's the heart of it.